Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be sharing my Technology Initiative Action Plan, which is going to be focusing on bridging the college readiness gap. So when thinking about the context of who this really applies to, number one, this is going to apply to the students in a program called Upward Bound. So these students are in grades 9 through 12. They can join their ninth grade year and they are served through their 12th grade year, and they are learning about college readiness or college knowledge. The purpose of this program is basically to get kids ready for college. Now, these students have varied levels of experience with technology. Some of them have attend schools in which there are already some technology initiatives going on, and some of these students are from more rural schools where maybe an emphasis is not being placed on technology. Now, a big aspect of the program is that these students are students who come from either low income or families in which their parents have not gone to college. And so these students identify that they want to be the first in their families to graduate from a four-year college. Now, again, these students come from very many diverse backgrounds, culturally, ethnically, racially, and socioeconomically. All right, a lot of them have different experiences, again, with technology and with other things, and they all bring unique and different perspectives to the table. Another strength for these students is that they are going to be supported by upward bound staff. Right? And then some potential challenges. Again, some of our students come from low socioeconomic families, all right, and so they might not have as much access to technology as other students. And another challenge is that these students, again, just having varied experience with technology, might have varying experiences with digital literacy. So then focusing on the upward bound staff. So again, the experience with technology is going to be varied. There are staff members who are very focused on technology, and then there are some staff members who are more focused on some traditional methods of teaching. With that being said, all of the staff uh, are focused on helping these students prepare themselves for college. Some of the strengths that these staffs bring to the table is going to be just their extensive experience working within the world of education and also working specifically with disadvantaged youth, which lends itself to help with speaking with and teaching and learning from students from low-income families and students whose families have not gone to college before. Some challenges might be resistance to change. Anytime there's change, sometimes there's comfortability and familiarity, and so there's going to be some resistance to change. There also might be a lack of professional development opportunities for these staff members to go learn about how to incorporate technology into their curriculum. So some main ideas and connections from thinking about the students, the staff, and then what I learned about going through my bibliography and focusing on how digital literacy can help bridge the college gap. Number one is going to be developing a comprehensive digital literacy program tailored to the upward bound participants' needs. So this is going to involve learning about what these students need to learn about, um, speaking with colleges and making those partnerships to find out what they believe students should be learning before they get to college. And then aligning this curriculum with the ISTE standards for students and educators, and also incorporating universal design for learning to ensure that this curriculum is accessible and inclusive for all parties involved. So then my how might I question pops up, and this ends up being how might I develop an accessible and comprehensive digital literacy program to assist in bridging the college readiness gap for high school students in Upward Bound while integrating technology effectively to prepare them for college. So again, when reflecting upon my how might I question, how might I accomplish this, again, we got to think about who are we teaching to? And so let's think about the students. Number one, there's going to be mixed levels of enthusiasm with these students. Again, a lot of these students are in fact highly motivated to learn this stuff so that they can be more prepared for college because again, they want to be as prepared as possible so that they can succeed in college. However, again, a lot of these students come from backgrounds in which resources might be limited. Time might be limited at home, money is going to be limited, and again, there might be a resistance to change. All right, and this one might come from staff, just a resistance to change. Sometimes there's not a lot of time into the day to help focus on developing this curriculum, and also just maybe being more secure themselves in teaching using the old-fashioned ways. All right, but with that being said, all right, because we serve a lot of students who have a lot going on at home, a lot going on at school, low income, first generation potential, all right, we do have to focus on teaching to the whole child and keeping everything um, in mind when we are doing so. Again, acknowledging that there are varying levels of familiarity between the students and technology. Some students, again, they might come from more well-off families than others, and so maybe they do have, a desktop or a laptop or any kind of non-mobile device. And then internet accessibility. We do have students who are very rural students, and oftentimes they don't have great internet service providers, and so they don't have internet except when they are at the schools. Varying digital literacy skills. This is something that I found more recently is that a lot of students are not aware of their digital footprints online, how to properly communicate with professors and other adults, and then even just using search engines online to find information. Some of those skills are just a little bit, varied. And then, of course, diverse backgrounds. We have a lot of students from a lot of different geographical areas, um, but also very diverse cultural, racial, ethnic, um, and socioeconomic students. So then when thinking about the information that I learned from doing my annotated bibliography, a lot of the articles were focused on COVID and how switching from a more traditional classroom to a more virtual classroom presented some hardships both for students and teachers, and how it really showed that their digital literacy skills might not be up to what is going to be expected of them for when they go to college. Um, so one of the things that we are going to need to do is we are going to need to think about what skills are necessary for students attending college and then getting those skills taught to the students as soon as possible. All right, again, teaching students how digital literacy, how knowing how to research um, can help them academically do better, and how to properly communicate with professors and others in an academic setting. And then in class, how can instructors, teachers, staff, how can we incorporate effective technology tools in order to even showcase them to the students, but also to help the students themselves build these digital learning skills throughout the learning process. And then utilizing online platforms, software, to our best resources so that we can create these project-based learning tasks so that the students can actually feel validated and feel that what they are doing has meaning and purpose and that they themselves are interested in. So again, when thinking about the how might I question and reflecting upon the bibliography and the empathy stage. All right, here are some tentative answers to how am I going to accomplish this. Number one, again, I'm going to have to, or we are going to have to, the program is going to have to develop a digital literacy curriculum tailored to the needs of our students. Um, right now, we don't focus a lot on digital literacy. A lot of what we focus on is just the basic facts of college knowledge, talking about the differences between certain colleges and universities, private versus public, talking about financial aid and the FAFSA. But we need to focus on digital literacy, all right? Getting our students ready to succeed in college in a digital age. Another thing that we are going to need to do is we are going to have to look for professional development opportunities for the staff to participate in so we can learn of different technology tools and also how to effectively incorporate that technology into our practices. Right? One thing that I'm really looking forward to doing and bringing this into my workplace is partnering with local colleges so that we can align our digital literacy expectations with them. So speaking to colleges like the College of St. Scholastica, and speaking to colleges like the University of Minnesota Duluth, Lake Superior College, University of Wisconsin Superior, and really figuring out what skills they believe high school students should be working on before they come to college so that they can be successful in college. And then just utilizing all of the digital resources that are available to us to help supplement any in-person instruction that is maybe not so technologically based. So here's the action plan. So number one, develop. We are going to develop a digital literacy curriculum focusing on things like internet safety, how to communicate, right? How to research, and then using different software. Number two is for the staff, we're going to provide or seek out professional development learning opportunities so that we can better learn how to integrate technology. We're going to partner with local colleges so that, again, we can align our expectations with what they think students need to learn. One thing that we could do, and this would be a really cool opportunity, is to implement a mentorship program. So along with figuring out from these colleges what digital literacy skills they think the students should be learning before they come to college, also finding college students that we can match up with the older students in our program so that those students can ask questions of those college students, learning about college life, academics, and again, maybe what digital skills are needed. Utilizing different online platforms, resources, software, and then integrating project-based learning activities so that students are more engaged in the process, they have more of a hand in their own learning, and they can finally take ownership over their learning. And then evaluating the effectiveness of our program, both the program in general, but also this new action plan, and then adjusting based off of feedback. So then let's focus on achievements, elements, standards. So with LOTI, all right, I'm looking at a level 4B right now. So I'm thinking that in this stage or in this action plan, students are taking a lot of ownership over their learning. They are identifying themselves, what they want to learn about college, and then using resources that we can provide for them and that we can establish beforehand. These students are able to participate in project-based learning in which they are able to solve real-world problems because these real-world questions that they have are going to be things that are relevant for them succeeding in college. And again, authentic student-centered activities, because everything that we do in our program, right, has a consequence. So we're going to be teaching about financial aid, and the better we teach about financial aid, the better that these students are going to be able to deal with financial aid. Again, like I said before, exploring real-world issues and then keeping current with different levels of technology and resources, and then maybe even staying up to date with the level of technology that colleges require. So then focusing on the ISTE standards, there are a lot of them. Here are the ones that I feel are very specifically relevant to this action plan. So 1.1a, students set their learning goals. This is something we already do in the program. We have students identify what are the main things that they want to learn about college. 1.12a is focusing on being aware of their actions. I think that this is something that we could do better on, teaching students that everything they do on the internet is tracked, and that if they are creating content and making posts, like that has a digital footprint, and they need to be aware that that is going to be following them around. 1.13, researching strategies. This is going to be a lot of, again, student-based centered learning. We can help them develop real-world questions and real-world issues to research, and then we can help them use digital technology tools to research those answers. 1.16a is focusing on choosing platforms and tools. Again, maybe you want to use this recommended source versus this other source that is not peer-reviewed and academically backed. And then 1.7, connecting with others. This would be covered through speaking with different college students, making different connections with different colleges, or potentially even connecting with different upward bound programs. On the staff side of things, for educators, 2.1, setting goals for ourselves. The students set goals, we should be setting goals too. All right, focusing on improving our own digital technology skills and ourselves becoming more digitally literate. 2.3a is creating positive experiences. This should be a focus of any educator, focusing on creating positive experiences that are relevant and meaningful and fun and exciting and engaging for our students to participate in. 2.4 is collaborating with colleagues. This is again covered where we reach out to different colleges and universities to align our standards, and even just working within the staff ourselves to make sure that we are all staying on the same page and we are teaching consistently, um, and that we are supporting each other. 2.5 is personalizing learning. Again, this is covered under the universal design for learning aspect, in which we are holistically teaching our students. We know about our students' backgrounds. We know how they learn best. We know how they have fun. And just, again, personalizing it so that it is as accessible as possible for these students. And then 2.6a, fostering a culture of ownership. Again, this is a program where everything we do has a consequence. We're teaching this for a very specific purpose, and that purpose is that this student will be more ready when they go to college. And if students, again, can take ownership of that, then they can have a piece of the pie too in getting themselves ready for college. And then in the universal design for learning aspect, representation, trying to use as many different modes as possible to teach the kids, um, audio, visual, going outside, being practical, using our hands, experiential learning. And then engaging our students in experiences that they actually find fun, right? They are interested in learning about this very specific topic, and we're going to try to make it as fun and engaging as possible, all right? And then playing to their preferences for how they learn best, and then bringing their strengths, their unique perspectives into the learning process as well. And then in terms of students expressing their learning, we can be extremely flexible in how this is done, um, with the ultimate culmination of their expression of learning, getting into college, succeeding in college, and graduating from college. So, some initial steps. Number one is going to be curriculum development and staff training. Focusing on creating this curriculum, all right, and getting ourselves trained so that we can do our best jobs as possible. All right. establishing partnerships with different colleges and universities to align our digital expectations, evaluating the program, evaluating the action plan, receiving feedback and making adjustments, and then keeping up to date is going to be one of my long-term plans. All right, technology is constantly evolving, so we need to evolve with it, making sure that we are staying up to date. Here is a list of my resources and references from my original annotated bibliography. Thank you.